Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this little handbag. Yeah, the only difference that I'm going to do today is this joins in the middle here, and there's no leather bottom on it. Yeah, but for me, because I don't want to do two things the same, I'm going to put a leather bottom on this one. But you don't need to put a leather bottom on it, and it's the same for this seam here. I'm going to cut the template, if you like, in one big piece. Sometimes that doesn't work out cost effective, especially if you're going to make this in leather. This is canvas and leather, this back here, so it's a mix of canvas and leather. If you wanted to cut it in two halves, the only thing you got to remember is if the depth here is, I think the piece of cut is 25, so it'd be like 12.5 inches to include the gusset, then you'd have to add on an extra 3/8 of an inch or half an inch if you're going to join it down here, and that's still out for the seam. But as I say, for me today, I'm going to make it the one piece, and I'm going to put a leather bottom on it. And my reason for doing that is it's very rare I do two things the same. This is a bag that I made for a course, and it just so people can come on a course, and it's a one-day bag. It's done by machine. You can stitch it by hand if you want. It just adds on whatever longer time it takes to hand stitch all this sort of thing. As I say, for the purposes I'm going to machine it together, it makes a shorter video. Hand stitching, I'm sure you know how to hand stitch. Okay, you're going to need three pieces of paper to start off with, and I've already cut them for easiness. So the first piece of paper I've got, which is the main body, it's the whole thing, and for that one I've cut it, I'll show it to the camera, I've cut it 15 inches by 25 inches. And I'll show you why I've cut that as we go along, but that one there's 15 by 25. The next one is this lid here, and what I've done, I'll just put that there, that is 5 inches by 12.25 inches. So that's my second piece of paper, and my third piece of paper is, as I say, we don't have it on here, but I'm going to put a leather bottom along the bottom here. So I've decided at the moment, I can change as I'm making, because I've never done it on this bag before, but this one is 3 inches by 11 inches. So any of these templates, measurements I can change as I go along, but it's a good starting thing. The only other thing you need measurements and templates for, and I'm not going to do a template for them because it's straightforward, is this strap here, and this strap across here, and then your two handles. So all I'll do is I'll measure the length of them, the width of them, and then just cut them. I don't need to do a paper template for straight lines. I can cut straight lines without it. So that's the bag we're going to make. I'll just show you again. That goes through there. It's a straightforward, simple little bag. Nothing complicated in it. There's no seams or pockets on the inside of this one. But there's no reason why you couldn't put a little extra pocket in and dangle it on the back here or stitch it through on this seam. But as I say, it's a nice simple little bag to get going with. I'll show you how to do my templates for this. And I start off with my big piece, which is the 15 by 25, and I'm going to fold it in half. Let me just do that. Of course it doesn't want to fold. We'll fold that in half. There we go. So that should work out at whatever half of 25 is, 12.5 by 15 I would have thought, yeah? Let me just check that 15 measurement, make sure I did it right when I cut this. Yeah, I got 15 inches. So what we need to do is cut out the gusset, the corner here, this corner bit. So because the gusset, this piece here, whatever, it's not gusset because there's no gusset in it, this is 3 inches here. So what I want to do is the first piece, I'll do it this way around, the first piece along here, I want to cut it 2 inches. I want to make it all 3 inches, but the 2 inches is, I'm leaving half an inch on because there will be a seam there. So if I do 2 inches there, and it'll be 2 inches across the bottom on this side as well. So 2 inches there. I'll show you these marks on camera a bit closer in a minute. So that's 2 inches. And the next measurement, because it's 3 inches, half of 3 inches, 1.5 inches. So I'm going to measure up here 1.5 inches. I'm in the UK, I should be doing this in metric, but judging by, I'm that old, I've always done inches. The only time I use metric is when I'm measuring thicknesses, 2 mil or 3 mil. But generally I work in inches. I'm sure there's online calculators that will change this for you. So that's 1.5 inches at the open side and 2 inches at the sealed side. So again, 1.5 inches up there, little line, and then 2 inches down here. I'll do that. This is a thing I always measure, when I'm doing these things I always get it wrong, so it's easier to do it in a piece of paper and then throw the piece of paper off, keep your I never keep templates, but I always seem to cut this the wrong way around. So as I say, back to 1.5 inches, which is that one, and then 2 inches along there, get my 1.5 up, and then 2 inches, and that should give me a rectangle. Oops, that's a bit off scoop. Okay, let me show you on camera what I did. So what I've done is the seal bit along here, I've cut it 2 inches, so that's along there, and then up here 1.5 inches, and then I've made this rectangle, and I've done the exact same one this side here. So what we're going to do is cut that out. If I had any brains, I would keep some of my templates, save me having to measure this out every time I do it. But my problem is I make saddles and things, and you end up with far too many templates kicking around. And it's easy, this sort of stuff is easy to do, so I don't need to keep the templates for it. Here we go. Right, so again, on my big piece, I've cut these pieces out, yeah. And if I open this up, you can see it there. So that's the sort of shape that we're going to have, yeah. So that's one template. Incidentally, when I'm doing papers, which I've mentioned on a few videos, when I'm doing templates, I go to like B&Q, Wixies, which is in the UK. In America, it would be places like Home Depot. I can't remember the name of the other one in America, but as I said, and this is just wallpaper, lining, wall lining. You can use wallpaper with all the fancy stuff on it. I tend to wait until it's I see it on offer, it's only $1 or £1 or something, and then I'll buy it. I'll probably get half a dozen of these rolls kicking around somewhere. Okay, so back to the bag. So what this is I know this bit here is going to be 3 inches. Now, if I just fold that in badly just to show you, I wouldn't do this normally, as I say, I would normally just cut this out in my canvas or my leather, whatever I was doing. But this is for the purpose of the video, show you how this goes together. There we go. So there, you can see it's along the bottom there. I'll zoom you in a wee bit down here. There we go. As I keep saying in all my videos, I sure as hell ain't a cameraman. Right, so if I fold that across there, lift this one up here, you can see what it is. I'll bring it out this way. So we'll get this seam down here. This is, I'm going to machine up here, up this long bit, and you can see what it's doing. So, obviously seam, if I hold it that, the seam is going to be the inside, but just for the purpose of show you on the camera, that's what's going to happen if we make the bag inside. So it'll give me a 3 inches across here, and this joins it together, and that gives us that sort of box shape. Okay, so that's that piece cut out. I'll zoom you back out again. I'll bet you anyone at the BBC don't phone me to become a cameraman. Okay, so that gives me, that's the initial template for the body. We've got this bit at the bottom, which we've already said is 3 inches. Now, I cut this 25 inches. It's actually going to make up, so 25 would give me this like 12.5, yeah, down here. But I actually probably only want it about 10. I've left enough on so that I can make a seam along the top here. Again, you'll see when we're cutting the leather why I've done that. I'm deliberately cutting the template slightly. I'm normally mean and I cut them really tight, but I think for you starting, if you cut your stuff slightly too big, you can always trim it down later, whereas if you make it tight, it becomes harder for you to work. If I'm doing saddles and I'm doing patterns, where I used to do some patterns for factories and stuff, I really did them tight, and a lot of the guys didn't like it. But you got to save, especially if you're doing thousands of saddles, you got to save money. I saved $1. You do 1,000 saddles, you just saved $1,000. So okay, so that's that template there. The only other one that I'm going to cut right now is this 5 inch by 12 1/4 inch. and that is this this shape up here. Now this shape can be any shape that you want. It's only to cover this opening. So I mean, if you wanted to do it up and down like a yo-yo, then just cut it up and down like a yo-yo. If you want to fringe it along there, do what you like. I kind of have like this round shape. Now I don't have time to shop around and things, but yeah, so I tend to use things that's lying about. So I'll show you how I got to that. Yeah, which is, I use the lid off my sewing machine parts. Yeah, I've got loads of sewing machine parts, so I use the lid on that. I'm going to fit it up to this corner down here, and if I just draw around there, that gives me that shape. Oop. You can use anything you want. I mean, there are things you can buy on the market. So that would be that one there. I'm going to fold it in half, so I could put the tin on the other side, but if I just fold it in half, then I'll know it's the same. Then the rest of it I'm just going to kind of make up as I cut it. So that's that there. I want it kind of round sort of shape. So I'm going to start back here and then just follow that line all the way around. Oop, my paper's moved it back there. This is going to be a bit square at the bottom, so I'm still going to have to tidy it a bit. Actually, I'm going to leave that. I quite like that shape as it is. So that's my shape done. The next thing I've got to do for all these things, I'm going to cut this out of leather, which you don't need to be on camera. I'll turn the camera off and we'll call it a part 2 or whatever. So I'm going to cut this piece out of leather, I'm going to cut this piece, in my case, out of canvas, and then this piece, which is going to cross the bottom here, I'm going to cut in leather. Yeah. So when I come back on camera, you'll see these 3 things will be cut out. The other thing I'm going to cut out off camera is I'm going to cut these strips. And once I cut them, yeah, I'll measure the length and stuff, but I'll tell you on camera what length they are. I mean, this one here is fairly easy. This is 10.5 inches. Now, again, for this sort of thing, I know this is 10.5 inches. I'm probably going to cut it 11 inches because I can always trim it down later, and that extra ½ inch might look better in the bag. Then this one here will cut as well, but as I say, I'll cut all this stuff off camera, and then I'll turn the camera back on and I'll show you how to put this little bag together. As I say, it's not really like a complicated bag, but quite a nice wee bag to practice with. Okay guys, see you in a minute. Okay guys, I've cut out, this is the template which was the main body. So what I've done is I've cut this out in the canvas. So say you can make this leather if you want it, you can make it in canvas. So I've cut it out in canvas, that's that piece. My leather lid, which is, just to show you in the bag, this piece here, I've cut that one out, so I've got that piece cut. I've now got also my strap for down the centre here cut. The little strap for across here, somewhere it's here, yep, there it is. So I've got that cut. 2 handles, one there, and number 2, yeah, so they're cut. And the third thing, the last thing's rather third thing, last thing is this base, which it's not in this bag as I said, but we're going to try and put it onto the new bag. So the base is going to go in there, so I've got that cut as well. Let me get that one out of the way, get all the patterns out of the way, and I'll show you how it should be set up. That's going to end up on here, which is across, between these 2 gaps, yeah. We're going to glue that on, and then we're going to stitch it on. The next thing is you've got your lid, which is going to come up here. You've got your little strap, which is going to go about there somewhere. You've got this piece here, which comes down the front. Don't know, you can't really see that in the camera here. Yeah, I'll take it back a bit. So that comes down there. So that's on. And then lastly, we've got the 2 handles. 1 and 2 handles. I've cut them all and I've rounded them all. I've not rounded this one because I'm going to show you how I round this. Yeah, it's just an easy thing to do. So let me move these out of the way. As I say, I've rounded that one. I tend to use whatever I've got at hand, and I'll zoom you in on this a wee bit. There we go. So we can get up there. There you go. And what I've got is I've got a UK penny. Yeah. So all I do is I put the penny on. And there are gadgets you can get, but this is me just for easiness. Yeah. Get a penny and then just cut round the penny. it. So what I've done, cut it around my penny, and now I've got my little round edge. If I wanted it slightly bigger, in the UK the pound's slightly bigger than the penny, so I would use that, and then I would move up to bigger coins or whatever. My other circles, as you've seen earlier, would come from a lid and stuff, so I just use whatever I've got to hand, the bottom of a thread, a thread or anything like that. Another one, I'll just zoom you back out, nothing to do with this video, but I'll tell you about it anyway. And I did prepare a bit earlier to show you, but my usual tardiness, I can't see the thing. Yeah, people ask me how you stain this soft leather, and get a shiny edge on it. All I do is I get down to like the pound shops we have here, and Dollar Generals you have in the US there, and I buy cheap, I don't think the name of it, it's just acrylic paint. This is an acrylic paint tube. I squeeze it into a lid. I add a tiny bit of water, because if you put the acrylic paint straight on, it's just too thick. Yes, it'll give you a nice shine, but it's just a bit too thick. So I add a tiny bit of water, and then just mix it, water it down a bit. It spreads on, and it gives you a really, really nice shiny edge. As I say, I did do a bit, but in between stopping to cut the patterns, I've had a coffee and threw more things about. But you can trust me, this really works. So if you want to do light leather, it is, and you want to get a shiny edge which you can't rub up or anything, then this acrylic paint does the job for you. Okay, the next thing that we've got to do is we're going to start to put the bag together. So I need to get all this out of the way. This is the bottom, and because it's going to go into a seam, what I'm going to do is pare the edge ever so slightly. So I'm going to get this. Again, normally I use a piece of marble, but the marble's in the other room, and I can't be bothered going to lift it up. So skiving an edge, you can either use your round knife, which is my favourite tool, or you can use your paring knife. Yeah, when I say round knife is my favourite tool, if I'm going to pare the edge here, then I tend to use the paring knife. I'm going to attempt to zoom you in a bit, and hopefully I don't cut my fingers off trying to work to a camera a bit. Where are we? So I just need it thinner here, because this is going to end up into a seam, and it's just a case of straight along there and then off. Do this in a shiny surface, because if you do it in something else it'll cut in. As I say, marble would be better. So that would be that, and that's just thinning it down a tiny bit, so just all the way along. Try not to do what I do, try and go and get your knife sharp, and this is a tad blunt, this thing. So that's that one done, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera again. Yeah, I need to get a bigger screen. Somebody did suggest putting television in, and then I'll have a bigger screen. I'm probably going to take them up on that. It's a good idea. Okay, this is me doing the exact same thing from a round knife. So say I normally use the paring knife, but I'll show you how I do it with the round knife. A round knife, incidentally, don't hold it like this, because all it'll do is it'll spin round in your hand. It's like a tennis bat. Bring your finger up, and then that steadies it and it can't move. So it's hold it as if you stab forward, and then bring your finger up, and then that just steadies the whole knife, and you'll find it won't move in your hand. Okay, so straight along there. So see, I normally use my other knife, but I'll show you that here with the round knife. I mean, the round knife does a good job, and I think the reason I use a paring knife. So say, round knife I use every day. Yeah, I use a round knife. But I think years and years and years and years ago, I used to be a shoe repairer, and we used to repair handbags and things, and we used to do this type of skiving on when we were repairing handbags, and I used a paring knife then. In fact, this is an old hacksaw blade that I made. So it's an old hacksaw blade, took the teeth off it, shaped the edge of it, and that's my paring knife. I'm just far too mean to go out and buy it. So as I say, that's my round knife, which does the job. My paring knife, oops, just took a wee piece off there. My round knife's a bit sharper than the paring knife. And that's just because it's coming into a seam, I don't want it big. Alright, I'll just throw these away. Next thing we're going to do is turn that round. We're going to glue this whole piece. That's my glue. I'll zoom you back out a wee bit for this one. Whoop. That might just do about there. Okay, so get me glue, something to spread the glue. This thing here will do, I suppose. big dollop of glue on there, and then all the way down. I don't want the glue right up to the edges because it'll show out. This is only to hold it while I machine the thing, yeah. So I'll put a big dollop there. So it's just to stop it moving around while I machine it. So that'll do that. Move that to the side. Put the glue to the side. Okay. And then on here I'm just going to put a tiny bit as well. I shouldn't need it, but belts and braces they say, didn't they? So that's just to give it a wee bit extra. Right. Now the next thing we got to do, wait for the glue to go off. And you get a choice here. I can tell you a dirty joke, or I can sing. Or on the other hand, I can just wave the leather around, spread that about a bit, get it a bit thinner. I could tap dance, I suppose. I used to tap dance, but I kept falling in the sink. Boom, bad joke time. Alright, we just got to wait for this to dry. I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to put it on, but you would wait for it to dry. So line it up, down there, flatten the thing out, and it comes up to the edge here. Yeah. Okay, that'll do that. Don't do the thing when you get black ink on your hands. But I'm not going to bother changing it. That's it. I picked something up and I had ink on it there. We're going to take this through and we're going to start machining it together. So bear with me while I move the camera about again. Hi guys. I've got bloody ink in my hands, so as I say, I'm going to just keep making this. Normally, obviously I wouldn't, but as this is only purely for this video, let me just throw this stuff to the side. I'm going to machine the bottom bit on, yeah? So you don't need to watch me machine, I don't think, but I'll leave the camera on, I'll bore you with my machining.